Deepak, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Tokenize with Mahesh show. Today's podcast, we are going to talk about tokenization, and how every business should be paying attention to tokenization. Okay, I can't really remove that. I'm going to share my screen. If you are first time joining us, welcome to the show. If you are joining us if you are a repeat viewer, welcome back to the show. My name is Mahesh Chand. I'm your host. Today we are going to talk about why. Okay, present. Need to. How do I add to my? I can't add. Okay, that's why every business will use tokens in the future. This is the topic today. It's really doesn't matter if you are a business owner or you are a developer or you're leading a innovation at your company. Tokenization will become the mainstream. Tokenization will be part of almost in some way or somehow you will think about businesses will use tokens. And that's what we are talking today. Today we are talking about why every business will use tokens in the future. This show is every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We welcome all comments. Share, please do share on your social media. Ask questions. The goal with this show is interact with the users, right? Interact with viewers. You can ask any questions you may have. So today's topic, as we said, why every business will use tokens in the future. We are going to cover these topics: the shift toward digital ownership, the problems tokens solve. We will also look at the evolution of existing, the way we store data and value to the next, how we are going to store using tokenization. So these are some of the topics. Welcome to the show, Pravesh, Rohit, Sarthak. Welcome to the show. Yeah, let's learn and get started today. We will also look at how AI and smart contracts are being tokenized, the future of identity. That's a big thing, right? Communication. And then community-driven business growth. We'll all talk about, and what are the different advantages, competitive advantage if your business is using tokenization. So let's get started. So there is a big shift going on right now, and this shift is toward digital ownership. When you think of ownership today, let's take an example. Like you have a building, or you have a house, you have a car deed, you have anything. It's all stored in a paper form. Paper form. Some are in PDFs, some are in electronic form. So that's how most ownership is. Physical ownership is stored now. You have gold, you have money stored. In, or you have any kind of contract. Let's say today you want to go buy a car. There is so much paperwork involved. You have to sign it. Same thing applies to homes, right? Even you want a credit card, you have to sign something. Even though you can sign a lot of things online, but it's not it has its issues. That's what we'll talk today. So what's going on? Right now there is a shift towards digital ownership. And when I'm saying digital, it's not just taking the physical paper and putting in a PDF. That's fine. That's digital too. But there's more than that. And that's what we're talking about is tokenization. How tokenization is going to solve some of the major problems in ownerships. Uh, and the technology behind that is a blockchain. And that's where the tokenization differentiate is that from traditional ownership of physical goods is how do you take it and put the ownership on a blockchain without having a third party. And what does that mean is, for example, today, let's say you buy a car or you buy a home or any kind of loan. That's an example. There's a contract between you and the party who's giving you loan. For example, bank is giving you loan. Either two parties involved, you and the bank, right? There is a contract between you and bank. And bank contract says if you don't pay this loan this much time, there's this much interest, you have to pay monthly EMI or whatever the agreement is. Then what happens is there a third party involved, which is legal party, and they are the one, they make sure that both agreements are aligned and they make sure that this is a legal agreement. So with blockchain, what's happening is that third party in between you and the bank is being removed by blockchain and digital smart contract. That is the big difference when I say that digital ownership. It's just not creating a PDF for a paper and putting on in a database. It's not that. It's ownership. Ownership is being digitized. That makes sense. If anything is not clear, ask questions. Okay. The goal with this show is to answer, your questions. So what the biggest problem this solves, as I mentioned, are just now, right? What are the biggest problems it solves? Is that some of the current processes, they are very slow, they're paperwork, right? Paperwork, and there is a lot of in intermediate people you need, and they cost, right? For example, if you want to go and notarize something, you have to go somewhere, they have to notarize, they have to look at your ID that you are the right person, they have to prove it and sign, and then so on and so forth. That whole thing, it becomes a big challenge. It's a lot of work and time wasted, right? End of the day, time is money. That's, but now if you look at the new model, which is tokenized, in tokenized, first of all, everything is on computers, done by machines, done by smart contracts, stored on a blockchain, and both parties just sign this from anywhere in the world on any device. That's the whole idea. So if you look at the example, is perfect example is smart contracts, right? If you want to transfer money, for example, from in money, in the case is digital tokens, like, you can transfer Bitcoin, USDT is a stable coin. In other words, for a dollar there's a USD coin digital, right? A dollar equals to, so if you want to transfer $100, you can use that. So this is kind of the new model is coming. And the benefit of this model is obviously it's speed. It's like it's live. It's like if I want to sign something and transfer something, it can be done live with no time. It costs very lessly. There's no third parties involved. It's done automatically. So it creates a lot of opportunities for anybody who's innovator, anybody who's looking ahead, anybody who wants to revamp their businesses. So you may be the decision maker in your business, at your business, right? So even you will see the in future is that all the points, all the rewards, they're being all converted into some kind of token. That will be the future. So how is it creating the value, right? Value, and why, how it's being measured. You look at this is that, look at some of the old model in this, screen compares the past and the future, right? So in the past, you can see that everything is, you know, soiled and wall garden, right? Means there's control, right? Control means everything is controlled by these banks, the governments, the centralized entities. And you have to go through these walls to get something done. That's one of the challenges. Even simple example, like you need any document, like if you want to go to your local municipality and want like some kind of some information about your home. For example, you want a map for your house, like, oh, I want the more maps. You have to go through the hoops, go to local office, apply there, and there'll be somebody sitting there. They're like, wait here, um and then they will find something. It's going to take you half day at least. And then have obviously slow, costly if you want to transfer something, and then it has limited utility. So this is the future, is where everything is interoperable and portable, instant, it's live, instant, and very low cost. It's programmable and smart. So that is the future. That's what we are talking about here, is that where the future are going to, right? The biggest innovation has happened in tokenization is the one is cross border payments. That is already started, right? So when any innovation happens, start with a one main use case. And the biggest use case in tokenization is the is the cross border payments. Cross border means from one country to other country. So if I want to transfer, for example, right now, if I want to transfer money to India, I have to, it's an international wire transfer. A lot of banks don't even support the online transfer still, right? My bank, for any international wire transfer, I have to go to bank physically, almost fill out the paperwork there, and then sign that paperwork. I can digitally sign, but it comes to email as a PDF. Then I have to review that and sign that, and then they transfer it. And money will not be there same day. It probably will take a day or two. So those are the two part. One is that I have to go there physically. This it takes me a few hours. Just sometimes I have to wait. And then second is I have to sign those, review those, right? All sometimes on paper. The third one is it costs a lot. Every time I transfer money, it doesn't matter if it's $100 or $1,000. It costs me $50 from this side, and it costs some money to the receiver side. So it's like, and then there's also rate exchange problem. All right. So banks don't give you the rate that is in the market rate. So there's a banks are making money left and right from this wire transfer. It's my money. I'm transferring my money to somebody in, so let's say in India. So there are three things involved. One is I have to pay fees. Then other person who receives, they have to pay fees. And in between, bank doesn't give you the transfer rate, which is like right now in real exchanges. So they take a little cut from it. So banks is making this money left and right, no matter what you do. Sometimes they may make a mistakes. Maybe they put a wrong phone, wrong account number. Money will never go there, and now you're stuck. You're calling them back and forth. It has happened a few times with me that they made a mistake, and money never went there. So now they're waiting on payments. So that's a big problem. But now in the new world of this tokenization, I have a wallet, other party has a wallet, money is transferred, converted into USDT. Now I can, or any token, and I can just live send it from anywhere from my mobile phone to just digitally sign it and then send it. They'll get right away. So literally very fractional of cost, no time wasted, and they just get it right there. And there's notifications they can see, they can track everything online, they can see on the blockchain, there's transparency, there's, it's all there. So that is the new world we are talking about. So that's just one example. As you can see, tokenization helping. So this show is brought to you by Sharp Economy. If you are not familiar with Sharp Economy, I would highly recommend go to sharpeconomy.org, check it out, or search in Google Sharp Economy. This is the new way communities are being developed. This is the way new future is being developed with tokenization. And Sharp Economy is supporting not only communities like C Sharp Corner, but it's partnering with other communities as well. So if you are a developer watching this show, you want to start earning tokens for contributions, for learning, you can use the tokens for growth. Check out sharpeconomy.org, or you can go to the Apple and Google App Stores and search for Sharp Rewards app, Sharp Rewards app, and download the app and create your wallet and get involved with tokenization, how tokens work. So we just talked about tokenization and how businesses are going to be morph into using tokenization a lot. Then we just look at few things, right? And one of the key problems tokenization solve is cross-border payments. Now, this tokenization is actually creating new business models. Okay, it means there's new ideas coming out of this tokenization. What are different things can be done? There are exchanges being created. There are DeFi exchanges. There are decentralized exchanges where, as a person, you can become your own bank. Okay, and there's something called these decentralized pools. To give you an example, DEX pools means if you have crypto, and forget for a second, let's hold on for a second. If you want to start your own bank today, you have to have a lot of money. Okay, not a lot of money, experience, legal, and all that. Then you can start your own bank. In the future, in the world here in tokenization, it's a community driven approach. Bunch of people can come together and they say, you know what, we're going to start our little bit dex pool, decentralized exchange pool, and we will put some money in there. So let's say five people come together, 10 people come together, and they put $1,000 index pool. Now, out of certain, their $10,000 worth of pool. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather today. So now 10 people can create a little own mini bank, and they can lend this money to anybody who needs this money. This is already happening in crypto world. That's how innovative is that. Like literally five people can go and put their money and say, oh, we are giving this money. For that, we need to earn this much, whatever benefit from it. For putting the money, you can earn some interest on it, some, you know, yield on it. That's what's happening already. So look at this quickly. The past, what's happening is there are supply chains. They just go from flow to flow. There is centralized control, and then there's monetization via ads, right? That's kind of the older one. In newer world, what happens is there are decentralized ecosystem. In other words, this is not controlled by centralized one person. The ownership is governed by the community. Okay, community means people who are involved in that ecosystem, and then it's a value-based monetization. You bring more value, you get more value, right? You add, you are helping community grow, you earn from it. This is the new model, and that's what Sharp Economy is doing, is building this platform where if you have a business, you are a startup, you have an app, you have an idea, how do you make turn this into a new model? That's what we are talking about here. Another example is RWA, real world asset. That's another example. Tokenization is growing big time. It's what is RWA? Like real world, right? Asset. Anything that's real world, like building, gold, money, pictures, anything you can think of, it's a real world asset. You can now tokenize that. And what does that mean is, let's say you have a building and you say, I want to sell a piece of this building. You can't do right now. Somebody has to buy the whole building. You want to sell your house, you want to sell your car, somebody, you have to buy the whole car. In the future, in the world of RWA, or you can say, perfect example is I have this building. Let's say building is cost $100,000. You can create 100,000 tokens, because with building is price and value of the building is 100,000. You create 100,000 tokens. Now each token is worth $1. Anybody can now buy 10 tokens, 20 tokens, 100 tokens. Now they own a piece of that building. They don't own the whole building. So what are the benefits of this? The benefits of this is that some people who say, you know what, I want to invest in New York real estate because I believe this will grow in the future, but I don't have money to buy the whole building, but I have $10,000. So you can go and buy a piece of a building. So it's kind of democratizing the ownership, right? So anybody can own a piece of anything. That's a big thing. Second thing is, if you are in another country, you can't own. If you live in outside the US and you want to own a building or property in the US, it's hard. You can't. You can live in, you can, let's say you live in India. You say, you know what, in India property values are not going up, or maybe whatever the reason is, or it's not safe. You want to invest in properties in the US. You can look for tokenized assets and buy these tokens. Now you're owning a building, piece of building in New York. That's pretty impressive. That is innovation, right? That is what we are talking about, tokenization here. This another thing is this AI and smart contract execution, and this a lot of this magic what we are talking about happens by using the blockchain and smart contracts. And even the AI now, AI is everywhere almost. So the AI and automation with the smart contract, you mix those things, you can do wonders in that. And we will talk more this on this coming show, more details in coming time. But if you're thinking about, hey, what should I learn more? This is how you want to start thinking. This is a perfect example. In the past, right now, there's a manual contract execution. Like everything has to be done manually. If there's a contract, it's done execution manually. In the future, it's automated using AI, and it's a smart contract, and it will secure. Another example of the tokenization, how business is are using, is the identity and access control, right? So you can almost everything can be put on blockchain. Your identity, passport, access to your servers, right? Or logins, they're all being migrated to blockchain based decentralized identities. And the advantage of decentralized identity is that I'm sure you've heard that, oh, this data, this bank's data got stolen, Twitter's password got stolen, Facebook got stolen. All these companies, Microsoft, Google, all of these companies, their logins, your logins are stolen. If you get a text message from somebody who's a unknown, it usually means that your phone number is already hacked through some system. They have your phone number, right? So that's how it works. And so this all is stolen, but the future is the decentralized. That will be not easy to steal. If somebody can go and hack into one of the blockchain nodes, they just can't get your user ID password. So identity is being put on decentralized, and it's in your control only. Unless you verify through even biometric, nobody will have access to your identity. So what if you are a business? If you're a business, what are the competitive advantages? And I think one of the big advantage is the liquidity and the speed. Liquidity, as I mentioned, like if you are a business and you want to rent your offices to people, and instead of finding somebody who can rent the whole thing or buy the whole thing, you can now raise money from different multiple people. That's a big example, and things are done fast and they are done very cheaper. And good thing is blockchain is it works 24/7. There's nothing 9 to 5 hours, because blockchain and smart contracts are all run by computers. Computers don't take day off, they don't have vacation, they don't go off on a Thanksgiving or Christmas, right? They don't take Diwali off. So 24/7, whenever you want to execute, it's live, it's running. That's a big deal. So with that said, that covers our show for today. I hope you learned something about tokenization in businesses and why most businesses will be using token in the future. It's very important for you to start paying attention, learning more, a little bit understanding blockchain, smart contracts. My next show, I will cover why most tokens fail and how to avoid those mistakes. With that said, okay, we'll take a couple of questions. That I think Chandrakant has a message here. It's pretty long message. Let's look at that, sir. You're absolutely right. I can't read that. Um, we can use crypto like a mini bank, just like traditional banks charge taxes or fees on transactions. Crypto also charges network fee, whatever send token. The main advantage is that crypto works 24/7 with no downtime, so we can send and receive funds anytime. And if you use the Polygon network, the transaction fees are extremely low and almost negligible. But sir, I have a question. Does this make crypto more efficient or learn it through traditional banking? That's what I can read here. It's too long. Maybe Deepak, somebody can copy the question at the bottom and then take it. It's a great question, by the way. Yes, it's amazing question. Good thing with that, even sharp economy. I agree with you that Polygon is one of the lowest fees. That was one of the reasons Sharp Economy and Sharp Token is created on Polygon blockchain. That's one part. Other part is the Polygon team is actually it's a big community, and the founder and the people, they come from a background. They were a hackathon project, right, in Bangalore. They came and grew through the community. So and we are a community. C Sharp Corner has been a community, and so yes, I agree with that. Let's see if I got the question here. Does this make crypto more efficient alternative to traditional banking for regular users? So yes, the it's very efficient, 100%. It's 24/7. It's fast and secure. The only problem right now with crypto is that for average user, the crypto wallets and storing the keys, they are very complicated. Because they're complicated and average user don't understand how to store the keys and all that. And whole crypto industry is working on that. So you can use your phone number, or you can use your email, or you can use your face to log in. Once that happens, almost every bank is right now in the US is building crypto support. In other words, you can store your crypto in banks, means they can have control of your keys if you don't want to own your keys, even though they could be hijacked. So point is that a lot of these banks, the exchanges, the third parties, all these will start supporting more crypto. The merchants, in other words, you can have a card, debit or credit card, that will tie to your bank account, and in the bank account you have a crypto there. You can use your crypto to pay for a coffee tea. This is already happening in a smaller scale, but it's coming big time. It's coming big time, right? It's a anytime any innovation happens, has a lot of hiccups, a lot of problems. For example, right now in crypto space, there's so many scammers, there's so many frauds, and crypto is getting stolen always back, left and right. And these are normal things when innovation happens. The systems are not secure that much, or they're not sometimes scalable. So this is part of. But I think over the past 5 years, the industry has matured enough that businesses are now taking this seriously. So with that said, we now have already finished our time, 30 minutes. As I said, next week we are going to talk about why most tokens fail and how to avoid those mistakes. And this show is every week, same time. So come back again. And if you know any friends who are interested in learning about tokens, tokenization, crypto, anything around this topic, they can come, they can join, ask any questions. With that said, everybody, thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you next week.
Wished your everyday activities could actually reward you? Meet Sharp Rewards. Cured, the app that turns your daily actions into exciting rewards. Whether it's learning, playing, or staying active, your time. With Spin the Wheel, quizzes, walk and earn, and daily streaks, earning rewards has never been this fun. Why wait? Thousands are already earning rewards daily, lad. Start making every action count.
Scan and download the app now.